Hi, welcome back to our at-home retreat.
大家好，欢迎回来我们的居家进修营。
And again, thank you, Xiaoping, for translating.
再次谢谢小平的翻译。
This is session number 18,
这是第18堂课，
and we have called it One Wheel, Two Lives.
我们把它叫做一轮二世。
And the picture I chose was a human being
我选择的图片是人类，
sort of becoming like a superhero.
他们有点变成像是超级英雄。
Now, sometimes I use superhero pictures to represent a person who's very good and inspires other people.
有些时候我会用超级英雄的图片来代表那些非常好的人，而且他们可以启发别人。
But in this drawing,
但是在这幅画当中，
we are talking about a human being who would like to be reborn in the Deva realm where people, look like superheroes, but then they have terrible deaths there, okay?
但是在生命之轮，它代表就是那些人道里的众生，他想转生到天道，然后看上去就像超级英雄一般。
So we've been talking about sections of the Wheel of Life,
所以我们也有在谈到生命之轮里的一些部分。
and we kind of felt, it kind of feels to you, doesn't it, that one Wheel of Life from 1 o'clock to 12 o'clock, that should be one lifetime.
你是不是讲到生命之轮，你会不会觉得从第1点钟到第12点钟，其实讲的是一世的事情？
But then we learned it's more complicated than that.
但后来我们学习到，其实是更加复杂的。
And we saw that link number 11, which is rebirth, and link number 12, which is aging and death.
然后我们学到第11环，然后就是再次受生，然后第12环就是衰老死亡。
Just two links can be a whole lifetime.
单单这2环都可以涵盖一辈子的时间。
So a very famous question comes up in the ancient books.
所以在古经典当中提了一个很重要的问题，
How many lifetimes does it take to get through the whole wheel one time?
就如果你要一轮下来，完整的一轮下来，需要几辈子的时间？
And it's not just a philosophical question.
它不是说只是哲学层面的问题。
We have to go through these next two classes.
我们必须要学完接下来的2堂课。
We have to talk about how many lifetimes can be in one wheel.
我们要来谈一谈，在一个轮当中有几世，
Because we're going to find out something amazing about that wheel.
因为我们要去找到关于这个轮非常不可思议的东西。
And that's that, if you look at a wheel of life, it's going like this,
如果你看生命之轮，它像这样在运作，
then that will trigger another set of links.
它就会引发另外一个循环，
And then this one will trigger another set of links.
然后这个又会引发另外一个循环，
And then there'll be some links, 3 there, 3 there, 3 there, 3 there. A few weeks in your wheel of life.
few weeks。
Weeks.
OK，
Yeah.
那就会引发这边有3个，这边有3个，这边有好几个。比如说在生命之轮当中的几周，
It can be triggering many lifetimes.
它可以引发好几世，
And many lifetimes can go into one life.
然后很多世可以进入到一世当中。
I like to think of it like the inside of a fine watch, a mechanical watch.
我喜欢把它想象成就是一块非常精良的机械手表里，
So we're going there.
就机械手表内部，我们即将来谈这
We'll
些。
talk about that watch later.
我们稍后再来谈这块手表。
But first, let's just see how can just two lifetimes fit in one wheel.
然后我们现在首先来谈谈，就是2世怎么样在一个轮里。
So let's go to the text.
我们接下来继续讲文本的内容。
And it says, Te na sakyewa tabulatsana. Let's take the case of a human being who wants to be born as a deva, like a pleasure being.
我们举一个例子，就是在人道里的众生，他想要转生成为天道里的众生。
Well, first we have, and then we'll go to Dekona la mombe marikpa. First you have Dekona la mombe marikpa means tattva. You don't understand tattva. Tattva means the way the world is.
首先呢，你不明白 tava 的意思就是事物运作的一个方式。
Again, let's go back to the kitchen.
再次，我们回到厨房当中。
to the first moment after the wife walks in the kitchen.
就是那初始的时刻，就是太太走进厨房之后，
She doesn't say anything.
她什么都没说，
She just wants a hug.
她只想要一个拥抱。
And then suddenly her husband blurts out, "You're so stupid."
突然间，她的丈夫就喊出来说：“你这么蠢。”
Then what does she say?
然后她怎么说？“I'm not stupid, you are stupid.”
No, that's later.
What?
That's link number 2. What's link number 1?
Oh, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Oh,
He
now-
was yelling at me.
她就说：“哎，我什么都没做，他就骂我。
Yeah, I didn't do anything. He yelled at me.
好，我什么都没做，他才骂我。”
That's link number 1.
然后这是第一环，
It's called misunderstanding.
叫做误解。
She doesn't realize
她没有意识到，
his explosion is coming because she yelled at her kids last week.
就是先生的爆发其实是源自于上周太太骂了孩子。
So, one act of misunderstanding in the kitchen,
所以在厨房里误解的这个行为，
it can throw,
它可以投射出，
project
可以投射出，
a whole another lifetime.
就可以射出一整个新的仪式。
And in the example here, Marikpe Wang Ki, that misunderstanding in the kitchen,
这里提到厨房里的这个误解，
like yawa penji ki kenin yongyur ki le, it throws, it triggers a special kind of karma.
它就引发了特别的一种业力。
Now, karma can be divided countless ways.
业力可以是分成数不胜数的方式。
In fact, our mixed nuts translator group
实际上，就是我们混合坚果翻译小组，
is translating several books called All the Many Ways You Can Divide Karma.
就是在翻译好几本书，那里面有描述到有很多种不同的方式来对业力分门别类。
But there's a very famous division into 3 kinds of karma.
但是呢，有一个很著名的分类，把业力分为几类，
Number 1,
3类。第一
Tonggyur-kile.
叫通究基类，
Tonggyur-kile means karma which is so powerful that you will see the result in this life before you die.
它指的就是业力如此强大，你这辈子死之前就会看到结果。
Second,
第二类
Gene-nyongyur-kile, karma which will create your very next life.
就是这个业力会引发你的下一世，就接下来的这一世。
Then what's called Shenla Tonggyur-kile means karma which will create all or many lives after the next life.
第三类就是这个业力可以引发你的第二世的来生，以及第二世以后的很多倍的来生。
So in this case, the Larmian book is talking about Gene-nyongyur-kile. You're creating karma which will throw your very next life.
他这里讲的就是说你会种下业力，然后这个业力会投射出你的下一世。
And the example here is a life as a deva or a pleasure being.
然后这里举的一个例子就是成为天道的生命。
Now I have to change my
天人。
story. Okay?
OK， 现在换一个故事，
Because you cannot be born as a pleasure being from yelling at your husband.
因为你不可能通过骂老公变成天人，转生为天人。
She must have come in the kitchen and said, "Honey, you are the most special person in my life."
所以太太肯定是在厨房里对先生说：“亲爱的，你是非常特别的人。”
Because he gave her a big hug.
因为先生给了太太一个大大的拥抱。
But actually, she should say, "I didn't do anything and he gave me a hug."
实际上，太太应该说：“我什么都没做，他就抱我了。”
So she doesn't understand.
所以太太没有明白，
The hug she got from her husband is coming from hugging her kids last week.
太太没有明白，先生抱她是因为上周他抱了孩子，
So she's saying something nice. "Oh, I love you. Thank you for the hug, honey."
所以太太当时就在说一些很好的话，说：“哎，我爱你，谢谢你，亲爱的。”
But still, she's saying it because of link number 1. She doesn't really understand.
但是哪怕她在说对先生说这些甜蜜的话的时候，她仍然是在做第一环，就是误解。
So without understanding the hug came from a seed in her mind from giving her kids a hug last week.
因为他不明白，他之所以得到拥抱，是因为他上周抱了孩子。
She reacts in a positive way and says, I love you, honey, thank you.
就是，但是呢，她是带着一种正面的方式去回应老公，说我爱你，谢谢你。
And she plants a new seed.
然后太太就种下了新的种子，
Where?
在哪里种下的？
$50. More exact. Where? Where did she plant the seed? Tim?
In the kitchen?
She plants the seed on the first half of link number 3.
哦，她在第3环的前半部分种下了种子，
Okay, that's where she plants her seed.
她就在这里种下了种子。
Okay, then derke nachi marungyam de munansoki dumba chepani. And then later she says, wow, I made some good karma. I was nice to my husband.
然后稍后女士就说：“哎呀，我种下一些好的业力，因为我善待了我的老公。
I pray that good karma will make me a deva in my next life.
哎呀，我祈祷那个善业会让我下辈子转生为天人。”
And in this example,
在这个例子当中，
that's the arming the karma at link number 8.
它就
It's
是
like the water on the seed.
它就是第8环当中的给种子披上铠甲，就好比给种子浇水一样的。
Dumba deni cheru tsumba ni. And then if she feels that wish more and more,
如果他这种期望越来越强的话，
it becomes almost like obsession with her. Oh, that good karma should make me a pleasure being in my next life.
它就好比像是一种强迫性的一样，就是哎呀，那些善业会让我下辈子转生为天人。
Then she's putting fertilizer, link number 9, on that karma also.
他也在做第9环，就是给种子添加肥料。
And because of those two, water and fertilizer,
因为这2个水跟肥料，
the karma that she planted in the kitchen at link number 2,
他们在第2环当中，在厨房当中种下的种子，
it becomes very, very powerful, fat seed ready to break open.
它就变成了非常非常强大、很胖的，准备好要打开的种子。
And we call it, here it says chikar, in the moment of her death, right? In the last moment of her awareness of this world.
然后提到就是在他临终的时刻，就是在他对这个世界的觉知的结尾的时刻，
Those wishes to go to a certain future,
就是那种对未来的某种希冀，
they make the good karma seed fat.
他们就让些善业变得很胖，
Teni penge suchepile. And that seed becomes definite. It will open into a pleasure being's rebirth.
然后那些种子肯定会成熟，然后呢，让他下辈子受生为天人。
So our author summarizes.
所以呢，我们的作者就做了一个总结。
If you think about it,
如果你仔细思维的话，
we've had like 2.5 archers.
就是我们有two and a half，
2.5.
我们有2位半的投箭手。
Number 1,
第一，
she misunderstood her husband.
他误解了先生。
Number 2,
第二，
but she gave him a very beautiful hug.
但是呢，太太也给了先生很好的拥抱。
Number 3,
第三，
in that moment she imprinted a seed on her mind.
就在那一刻，他在他的意识里留下了一个印记。
Now, so that's kind of 3 links.
所以这有点像是3环，
And then 3 more links are like the factory.
然后另外的3环就好比像工厂。
She misunderstands. Well, let's say she has a feelings about the seed, really.
就是他对种子有一些感受，
She wants them. She's doing like coffee meditation where that seed should open.
然后他有点像做咖啡冥想，然后在想那些种子应该在哪里打开。
First coffee meditation.
首先先做咖啡冥想，
Stronger meditation.
然后很
coffee
强的
meditation.
咖啡冥想，
And then the seed is fat and ready to open.
然后呢，种子就很肥大，准备好要成熟打开。
Those 6 links,
那总共6环
3 archer links,
，3环是就是射箭手，
3 links which make the seed ready to explode.
然后另外3环呢就让种子准备好要打开。
Those 6 of the 12 links are happening in the first life.
然后呢，这12环当中的这6环就发生在这一世当中。
Dene chima sarke, and then that seed breaks open and she goes into a new life.
然后那个种子就打开，它就进入到下一辈子，
And she becomes that pleasure being, Deva.
它就变成了那个天人。
We call Deva or temporary pleasure life.
我们把它叫做天人，或者是暂时的愉悦的生命。
It can last for a million years.
当然，它可以维持上百万年，
And it's very, very pleasant, and you look like Iron Man or Superwoman or
是非常愉悦的。你看上去就像钢铁侠，或者是超级女侠。
but when you die,
但是你去死亡的时候，
you always go to hell.
你总是会下地狱的。
Oh, why?
为什么呢？
You burned up all your good karma.
因为你所有的善业都用完了。
So we think it's like something you should avoid, that kind of Deva rebirth.
所以我们觉得大家应该要避免那一种受生为天人。
They are just having fun.
他们只是在玩乐，
They don't try to improve themselves.
没有试着要提升自己，
They don't learn more.
他们也没有学习更多的
They
东西，
kill their old good karma.
然后就杀掉了自己旧的好种子。
It's like very wealthy children in this world.
它就好比这个世界上的富家子弟，
Oftentimes they spend their whole life using money without working.
然后通常这些富家子弟就在一生都在挥霍金钱，没有赚钱。
Chima sarkewana. So let's say she's reborn like she wished.
然后假设我们说这位女士按她希望的那样已经受生了，
So what links are going to happen in the second life?
那在第2个生命当中是哪一环会打开？
Mingsuk to the body and mind entering the mom's womb. Number 4.
就是第4环，
The body and mind entering the mother's womb.
就是身体跟意识进入到母亲的子宫当中。
Then link number 5.
然后第5环
Her ears, eyes, nose, they are forming.
就是眼耳鼻舌这些都形成了。
Link number 6.
第6，
Because of those sense organs, she will make contact with the outside world.
因为有了这些感官，她可以跟外界接触，
Then automatically link number 7.
那自然第7环就开始了。
She will start to have pleasant experiences and she will start to have unpleasant experiences.
她会开始有愉悦的感受，或者是不愉悦的感受。
And 4, 5, 6, 7, those 4 links,
然后4、5、6、7这4环，
and you can kind of throw in half of her link number 3 too.
你可以把第3环的一半，然后呢觉知也加进去。
They are going to turn into Kewa and Gashi. They're going to turn into link 11 and link 12.
他们会变成第11环和第12环。
They are a whole life.
那 you mean these 2 links?
And those 4,
Or those
or
4?
maybe 5.
OK， 这些就是完整的一个生命。
Yeah, and the whole life is the 2 links.
然后
Birth and aging and death.
第11跟12环这2个也已经是一辈子的时间了。
Okay, so we have 6 resulting links.
所以我们还有6环是结果的6环。
Chima Saiten la de la Zopate. Those 6 links are finished in the Deva birth.
然后呢，这6环呢，在你受生为天人的时候已经完成了。
So we had 6 links in the first life as a human and 6 links in the second life as a Deva.
所以呢，总共就是有6环是在你还是人的这一世的时候，然后另外6环呢是在你受生为天人的那一世的。
And this is the way in which 2 lifetimes can be finished in one wheel.
所以这就是一种方式，就是2世可以在一个生命之轮里完成。
But I ask you to think about something.
但我要请大家思索一个问题：
And this is a little deeper.
这是比较深的。
Is it possible that the karma she plants in one life is not watered for a few more lives? Like the seed's just sitting there.
Oh, is it possible?
Is it possible you could plant a seed today and it will take 3 lifetimes before that seed gets watered?
哦，有没有可能，其实你今天种下一些种子，但是
Is it possible to plant a seed today or have a seed? There's a seed, okay, in Siberia.
比方说在塞比利亚，在俄罗斯，
It's a special flower.
然后有一种特别的花，
They found one in the ice which has been there for 31,000 years.
他们在一个冰川当中，就是存在了31000多年冰川当中找到了一些种子，
And they planted it and they put water on it.
然后就拿出来种植浇水，
And it grew a flower after 31,000 years.
在31000年之后仍然打开了，结成了花。
So is it possible that might take more wheels before it opens?
所以有没有可能种子种下，但实际上需要很多轮的时间才能够让它打开？
And we have to think about it.
我们要思索这个问题。
But in today's example,
但是在今天的例子当中，
6 links in the first line,
就在第一世有6环，
6 links in the second line,
然后第二世有6环，
12 links in 2 lives.
所以总共12环，花2世的时间。
Now, there's a special expression in Tibetan that you should know. If
That-
you want to go deeper.
如果大家想深入学习的话，要了解在藏文中的一个表述方法。
By the way, if you don't want to go deeper, go get a pamshe.
如果你不想更深入的话，就去拿螃蟹。
It's a special Tibetan word called pamshe.
有一个特别的藏文词叫螃蟹，
Pamshe means go find a teacher who didn't have much training.
就是你找那些没有受过良好训练的老师，
And they'll say, be nice.
他们会跟你说：“哎呀，你就友好一点，
Just do your money, money pay me home,
就念 Om Mani Padme Hum，
and everything will be okay.
一切都会平安无事的。
If that's enough for you, ”
如果你觉得这已经够了，
then you don't need this longer.
你就不需要来听这个到此地的课程。
But I'm trying to get you to understand the inside of the clock.
但是我现在是试着让大家明白钟表里面的运作，
How does each piece work?
就是每一片是怎么样运作的。
Because to change that clock,
因为你要改变这块钟表
Marmahata for $50.
，killing point，
You
就是
have to know the strike point.
就是你要知道这个要点。
If you want to, it's a terrible example, but it's in the scripture. If you want to kill a human in 2 seconds,
当然这个是不好的例子，但经典里是这样记载：如果你想要2分钟之内让一个人毙命的话，
like those Kung Fu masters,
就像那些功夫大师，
cut this vein right here,
就是切这里的一条动脉，
and the person has to die. You cannot fix it.
那个人是必死无疑的
They have to die in 2 minutes.
，2分钟内就必定死亡
I。have a friend.
我有个朋友，
He was building a house.
他在建房子，
He fell down.
然后不幸跌落，
Then a nail scratched him here.
然后呢，一块针，然后就划到了这里。
And he was standing next to his wife.
一块钉子不小心划到这里，他当时站在他太太旁边，
And he died in 2 minutes.
然后呢，就2分钟之内就去世了。
She couldn't do anything.
他太太当时束手无策，
Okay, so we want to kill the wheel.
所以我们想要杀死这个轮。
So you have to understand the anatomy of samsara.
所以你一定要明白这整个轮回的整个解剖，
And where's the exact place you have to cut your suffering?
然后你一定要知道要在哪里切断你的痛苦。
So that's why we're doing all this detail.
所以这就为什么我们来讲所有这些细节。
Okay, so anyway, the word I wanted to say, Dendelsarchik.
我想说的这个词叫 dendrosarchik，
It means one time through the 12.
就是 one time through a 12，
One time through the 12.
就是一次的时间轮过这12环。
I didn't say wheel.
OK， 12环。
I said one time through the 12. We don't know which 12.
然后我们没有说是哪12个，
And we'll talk more about it.
一次然后有12，但是没有说是12是指轮。
And we'll talk about it later.
然后稍后再来解释什么意思。
Okay, last thing today.
所以最后一点，
Ngendrotabertsana. Okay, that was with taking a good rebirth.
所以刚刚讲的是好的受生，
So let's talk about a bad rebirth.
接下来讲讲不好的受生。
We call Ngendro means lower realms.
念咒意思就是下三道，
Three kinds.
有3种。
Animal,
第一种畜生道、
hungry ghost,
恶鬼道、
hell.
地狱道。
Okay, now he says, let's talk about a bad rebirth.
他说：“那我们谈谈不好的受生吧。
Alende la mombe marikpa. Again, it starts with misunderstanding how karma works. ”
再次，他也是属于误解了业力如何运作，
But in a deeper misunderstanding where you just say, I don't believe it at all.
但是在更深的误解当中，其实你会说：“哎呀，我一点都不相信。”
Then you don't feel like you have to do good things to other people. You can just do bad things.
然后你就觉得你不用善待他人啊，你就觉得你可以做坏事啊。
So if your misunderstanding is that bad,
所以，如果你的误解有这么糟糕的话，
you will kill people.
你会去杀人、
You will lie to people.
撒谎，
And you will collect, sok means you will collect bad karma.
你就会积攒恶业。
Then that has its own water, its own fertilizer in your mind.
然后在你意识当中，这些坏种子也有属于它的水呀、肥料啊。
Kongiringde means, hey, and the rest is the same as I told you before with the good karma.
然后呢，其他的跟也是一样的，跟我说的好种子的道理也是一样的。
And that completes session 18.
这就讲完了第18堂课。
Tomorrow we're going on to, can you have 3 lifetimes in 12 links?
然后明天我们要谈的是有没有可能一次生命之轮，但是有3世。
Can you finish a set of 12
你有没有可能完成这12环？
in 3 different wheels, almost 3 different lifetimes?
但是呢，用了三个轮，就3次不同的辈子，然后完成这12环。
And we'll talk about that one tomorrow.
我明天再来详谈，
Don't turn your mind off, you know.
就不要就把心关闭了，
Don't say this is too complicated.
不要觉得这么复杂。
You went through 12 years or 16 years of school.
你在学校是上了12年、16年的书的，
At the end, you could do very complicated mathematics
学完之后，再复杂的算术题你都可以做了，
and very complicated science.
然后科学你都懂了，
And maybe you could write complicated things from your language classes.
你还可以上语言课写出非常复杂的内容来，
But nobody taught you how to die.
但没有人教你应该如何死亡。
Now, you may not be a mathematician in your life.
你可能这辈子不会成为一个数学家，
You may not write books or be a scientist.
你可能不会成为作者或是成为科学家，
And that happens to a lot of us. And that means you didn't need those 12 years.
很多人都是这样，这就意味着其实你不需要学12年的时间，
But to spend a few days learning how to die,
但是呢，你花几天时间学习如何死亡，
which you have to do,
大家必须要学的，
I think it makes sense.
我觉得是讲得通的。
So see you at class 19.
好，19堂课再见，
Thank you. And thanks,
谢谢。
Xiaoping, for translating.
谢谢小平翻译。